But no, it's all good, my man. All good. What's going on in the wrestling world, Conrad? I mean,
well, I don't know if you saw, but The Rock is back. And Friday night, he turned babyface and then heel and then babyface and then heel again and then babyface and then heel again. He turned more in one segment than Big Show did in a decade in WWE. And I guess he's after Cody's soul. I don't know if he's doing an Undertaker gimmick or a Mr. McMahon gimmick. I can't make heads or tails of it, but what I do know is WrestleMania in New Orleans has been announced. And I, for one, am on fire for that. New Orleans is a perfect town for the Super Bowl and for WrestleMania. It's very walkable. Wrestling fans can usually on foot get to a ton of different indie shows and, of course, WrestleCon, and I'm sure Access will be there. And, of course, the big show, WrestleMania. When you're looking at sort of locations and towns, New Orleans has got to be a near perfect big event town, does it not, Jeff?
You know what? And what's crazy is, Conrad, if you were out and about here in Nashville, I hear a lot of, I don't want to say comparisons, but yeah, like Nashville getting online in that everything's walkable, everything's connected. But you know, I don't know how many conventions I've been through, TV conventions, just you name it. Matter of fact, that's where I went into the Hall of Fame, Conrad. A little footnote there.
I was there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, no, but New Orleans, and I wonder how far back it goes. I know Mardi Gras and the party town and the atmosphere, but for the longest, Nashville didn't have enough hotels. And that is not the issue in New Orleans. Yeah, it's a hell of a town. And they've hosted a lot of manias. You know what? When I heard it, the buzz and the chatter, and that's going to be part of the announcement and all that kind of stuff, I immediately went to, all right, what kind of check did the state of Louisiana and the city of New Orleans?
Come on.
Is it out there? You already know.
I don't know the details, but you're exactly right. You know, they wrote a big one. And listen, with the new stadium coming in Nashville, it's not going to be long before Nashville hosts a WrestleMania. I mean, you got to think that's going to happen.
Well,
in the first 12 months of completion, right?
Oh, I mean, they're already booking stuff, and yes, there's already been conversations, and you know, the Titans organization, as they've grown through the years, you know, when they start making a whole different division within the Titans umbrella of, I still call it NTR, non-traditional revenue or events, where, you know, there's quite a few music events that go in the old, well, we're calling it the old already, the Nissan Stadium, but yeah, the Music City Bowl here in Nashville, Conrad, like indexed crazy high many years ago, and they kept getting better time slots and more money, and we used to do the wrestling event out there as the player entertainment, and then the playoff system came along, and that threw that completely upside down. But no, kind of back to the New Orleans, Nashville manias going there. Man, they've hosted a lot there. So
the third WrestleMania, Jeff, in New Orleans. And I got to think, if the rumor and innuendo is true, and if the scheduling sticks the way it is now, supposedly that new Nashville stadium is going to be complete in 2027. So I'm just going to throw it on record here on my world. WrestleMania 2028 is going to be in Nashville. That's my prediction.
I'd like to give you some information, but I don't think I should make it public. So,
okay, copy that. I can't wait until you tell me, and I tease it cryptically on all my other shows. We appreciate you guys joining us here today. We're going to be talking about 1987, but before we do, Jeff, I want to ask, did you get a chance to catch The Rock play hokey pokey, babyface and heel? And did you see the announcement? Of course, I love the idea of using The Rock to use the press conference to announce that WrestleMania is coming. I mean, you got one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Why not leverage that for some firepower with the press? That makes sense. But we hear he's going to be at Elimination Chamber. And Brian Alvarez doesn't believe that Rock is wrestling. Of course, we know Rock's going to do what Rock wants to do. What do you think's going to happen here, Jeff? If you had to guess, will we see The Rock wrestle? Or what do you think of that promo? Could you make heads or tails of it on Friday night?
All right, so kind of how I dove in, or you just chuckled at me about, all right, what kind of check is Louisiana and city of New Orleans going to write. The thing, they put out a press release on Friday, right, Conrad? Yeah, or whatever, something socially. They put that out. What was I doing Friday night? But anyway, as my man Cody, my son, always does, the online, I caught up through all that. Him mentioning Ari and kind of the chess pieces and the promo. Here's what I didn't lose sight of. I think you won't first. Look, I'm getting long-winded already, Connie. Yes, I think he's going to wrestle. How we get there, I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's the part of why me and you are discussing this, because what I shouldn't say I find it fascinating, but I found myself trying, I didn't watch it real time, but catching up on it and putting the pieces of the puzzle together, because they put out little news bits and pieces of it. But man, it's got the world talking and the soul and not the belt, and what are they doing? And oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't dive all the way in. Is this good for Cody? Is this not good for Cody? So the Cody fan, where's Cena fit into this? Where's this going to go? I know there's positive and negative about the whole segment, but at the end of the day, and I don't know if you can call him the biggest box office attraction in the world. He's certainly up there.
Yeah,
no doubt. And we're talking about a guy who's a third generation in this industry.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going back to, it lifts the entire industry so far out of the stratosphere of what the online bickering may or may not be. It's like, this old boy, as you say, this old Cumberland River cat, I absolutely love it. It is good for all of wrestling, no matter how you slice it and dice it. But I think we're going to eventually dial back into, what is it? End of February. When's the Mania? Third week of April this year. So it's a little bit later. You've got Elimination Chamber. Is that this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend. Yeah. It's this Saturday night.
So then you're going to have a 6-week run, correct? Yeah. Boy, we got a lot of TV to go.
so much.
Yeah. But man, it's created, got a boatload of chatter. Any numbers out? Man, I haven't caught up. I went to a ball game yesterday, and you sent those nasty texts to me, to Karen and my son, which is just completely uncalled for. And
no, hang on. I didn't send it to Cody. I sent it to you and Karen, because there was some foul language in that, and I thought it was funny, but I'm not going to encourage foul language. Now, I know he hits me with some foul language, and I just take it.
But hold on. That just clicked on me, because, again, I went to my daughter's ball game yesterday. I was traveling by myself, and I enjoy that quiet time and everything. Do you know, when I looked at the text, your text, right?
Yep.
Right after that, Karen forwarded it to the group of me and Cody.
I got you. Okay. Well, I was like, hey, listen, it says the S word in here, and I'm not sending that to Cody. I don't want him that become his new thing around the house, and they're like, look what Conrad did.
We have to correct him. He's at that age. He's 18, so. But anyway, are any numbers out on SmackDown?
I haven't seen it. I'm sure that we're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of all that and all the social media numbers. But either way, your point.
What did you think? What did you think of the whole Friday night?
Listen, it's awesome that you have The Rock appear. I mean, I thought him doing, a little Lil Wayne remix for his entrance music in New Orleans, making the WrestleMania announcement. I think that was all great stuff. The stuff with Cody, in a word, was weird.
Okay.
Like, I understand that. I know what pro wrestling is. I get it. But it's like every now and again, I want to suspend my disbelief. And it feels like we were kind of all over the place. And I don't know if Rock was just out of practice, or maybe it wasn't a well thought out plan. I mean, he clearly got a ton of pops. He got a ton of reaction. I mean, the crowd went bananas for everything he said. So in that way, it was effective. But it's like he's playing along with the crowd, then he's healing on the crowd, and it was back and forth. But the idea that I don't want the belt, I want your soul, I'm like, I don't really get where that's going, but I'm going to not totally shit on it, because I don't know what's planned this weekend.
There you go.
I'm going to see what happens this weekend before I just throw a temper tantrum again, which I'm subject to do.
It's
but I'm going to see what happens this weekend.
Al, as we say, it's subjective.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess, and we'll move forward for this. But the one thing, and man, Cody, man, we talk about Cody a lot on here, but Cody reads lots of YouTube comments and Instagram comments, and I've had conversations with him. And like, Cody, do you see there's kind of a different vibe on Instagram than there is on YouTube? And yeah, and then this, and he's not an X guy anymore, and all that. But what I'm saying is, Conrad, you are a junkie like me. There's nothing in that segment that would say, I don't want to watch this weekend. That didn't make sense.
It's The Rock. You want to watch because it's The Rock.
Okay. So case closed.
Yeah. I mean, on some level, he could come out and read the newspaper and make you chuckle and get a reaction. Now, is it going to advance a storyline? Probably not. Is it okay if you, and I know your thing is if you confuse them, you lose them. And that's the reason I'm sort of like, I don't really get what this was. And I don't know that it was a home run, because if I and you are two big wrestling junkies and we're like, what is this? Yeah. We don't know how to, but at the same time, like, he made it clear that this is part one, and I'm not going to say the other half, but part two is this weekend. So if we know that there is another appearance and that there's more to the story and it's just about a week away, we just got to exercise a little patience, my man.
Got it.